Today we're going to discuss about exception handling. And exception handling, as you all know what an exception is, you might have heard it in intermediate chemistry and all the stuff. Exception is a case where we need to deal with the stuff in a different manner. So let's say division with 0. Basically, if you divide with any number, you will get some remainder, quotient and all. But if it's with 0, you're going to get an error because it's undefined, or some people say it's infinite. That's other story. So basically what happens is, if you get an error in Java, you cannot go into the next line, right? Of course, it's a compiler, so it's going to show you all the errors at the time, but it's not going to execute them. So let me brief it out to you guys. Let's say int num is equal to 5 by 0. Let's take the same example and let's say sysout hello. Now, what's happening here is we're going to get an error because I'm dividing it with 0, so we are going to get an arithmetic exception. So it's in line number 7. So because of this, we are getting an error, right? So basically what's happening here is we are getting an error and we are unable to move the next line. So if we use an exception handling and if we use try-catch block, so try-catch blocks are kind of similar to if-else statements. If we use them, we can go into the next line. So let me just show you. So let me write try int x is equal to 5 by 0. I'm taking the same example and we have a catch block. Catch throwable E. Throwable is basically something like a superclass of all the exceptions. Throwable contains all the exceptions with it. And if I wrote throwable, whatever exception comes, it's going to go into throwable. So that's an advantage where we can use if we don't know what kind of exception might occur. So now let's go with it. So let's say I want to print this out and let's say error. Or even I can use e.print stack trace. So e.print stack trace is something like where you get what line the error is. So since we got here line number 17, the same way it's going to say what line number it is. Now let me just show you. See error, it printed error. And because of print stack trace, we got the line number of it. And that's all. And also the next line of try catch block is also being printed. It's hello, right? So wherever you feel that error might occur, you just keep it in try and catch block. And basically we have two kinds of exceptions. One is checked exception, one is unchecked exceptions. So unchecked exceptions are like arithmetic exceptions, array index out of bound exceptions, and all this kind of stuff, which basically are caught during the compile or runtime. They're not caught during the compile time; they're caught during the runtime. And checked exceptions are something like where we use a keyword called throws and we write the exception name. And in unchecked and in checked exceptions, even our custom built exceptions also come. So where we give them and we're gonna specify what are they and all this kind of stuff. There we're gonna say that we will throw this exception, like we might throw this exception, so you must be careful. So we're gonna use the keyword throw. So we'll get into it later on. And since it's and I want you guys to remember that unchecked is caught during runtime and checked is caught during compile time. That's all. Now let's go into multiple try-catch blocks. So here I have two catch statements. One is arithmetic exception, one is array index out of bound exceptions. So we have two catch statements. They're similar to if-and-else statements. I repeat. So first try, I have two errors. One is index is equal to 5 by 0, and then this is array index out of bound exceptions. That means since it contains only 2 as a limit, and I'm giving the sixth element, of course, or you can say the seventh element because array starts from 0 as 4. It's not possible, right? The limit is only 2 and you're giving 6, 1. That's not possible. So, but the problem in try catch exception is if it catches one exception, see if it goes line by line, right? And it's going to find that there is an arithmetic exception here. And it checks through all the catch statements and which is near to it, it's going to do this. So here, the arithmetic exception is so near to it. So it's going to do this and it's going to end. So let me just write So let me just run it for you guys. So the first one is caught. That's all. It's gonna exit try statement, and it's gonna go into the nearest cache and it's gonna print. And you can also have a phase like you don't know what error might occur. So you just write throwable e. So let me just print out error. Now, in this case, what happens is if there is some other error occurred, it's going to go into throwable and it's going to fetch you what the best error is. And it's going to print out. That's all. And I suggest you guys going to line by line, or you could say in order. This could be in any order. But if you write throwable in the first, it's going to directly go into throwable. And you might get an error because of it. Because of it going into throwable, the next errors won't be caught and you might not get the desired output. Of course, the errors will be caught. That's all. In this way, you can use multiple try statements and catch statements. And now let's go into the keyword called throws, where you can just give your own exceptions or you can just let them throw. Let me give an age exception. Let's say age is equal to 4. And if age is greater than 10, then only you are eligible. So if age is greater than or equal to 10, I'm gonna just print okay. Else it's gonna we're gonna use the keyword throw new arithmetic. Now let me give, let's say age is not enough. That's all. So if I run it, it's gonna throw an error. It's just throwing an error saying age is not enough. Instead of arithmetic exception, you can give even array index out of one, or you can also give your custom exception. And your custom exception comes under unchecked. So it comes under checked. So that means you're gonna say that I'm gonna give an error. So use the keyword called throws. Here we use throw, and there the keyword is used throws. So for creating your own custom exception, you need to create a class. So and the exception name is age exception. So I'm taking the same example. If your age is greater than less than 18, then you're gonna get an age exception. So here just say the class is class and exception name extends exception and string is, and that's all. I wrote this because whatever we are writing here, it's being printed here, right? So for that reason, I'm doing that. And we're gonna write a method. So let's say I have a static method. Let me erase the stuff. Static age check. So let's take int a as an age. So now let's see if age is less than 18, throw a new age exception. This is a checked exception, so you must mention in the start itself that you might throw this exception. So I'm going to say age is less than 18. We're getting an error because of that. So let me just finish this else statement and fix it. Okay. Just need to write throws age exception. That's all. So now let me use this method age check and let me give 16, and I need to do it in try-catch block. So that's all. If I just run it, you can say age is less than 18. This is being printed. Because of doing this, this is being printed. And that's all. In this way, you can create your own custom exception.